Never ignore a mum with a baby on a train platform. Because what happened next changed two lives forever. Picture this. It's a typical Tuesday morning rush at King's Cross Station in London. Thousands of people hurrying, heads down, earbuds in, everyone late for something. The usual madness. But on platform 7. Something's about to unfold that'll make you think twice. Every time you walk past someone who looks like they need a hand. A young mum stands there with her 6-month-old little girl. In less than 10 seconds. Both of them are about to collapse right towards the tracks. But here's the twist. The bloke who saves them isn't security. Not a paramedic. Not even someone official. He's just a regular guy trying to get to his job. And what he does afterwards. That's the bit that'll really get you. Emma Thompson was 26 when this happened. She'd only moved to London 3 months earlier. Fresh out of a messy divorce. Single mum, new city, no family close by. Just her and baby Lily, trying to make it work. That morning she was heading to a job interview. Her first proper chance since the move. She'd barely slept, Lily was teething. Emma felt woozy when she woke up. But she pushed through. This interview could change everything. She got Lily ready. Packed the changing bag. And set off. The tube ride was crowded but manageable. At King's Cross, she needed to change trains. Platform 7. She checked her phone, the train was 2 minutes away. Lily started grizzling in the carrier. Emma bounced her gently, trying to soothe her. That's when the dizziness hit again. Harder. Emma later said she just wanted to sit down. But no benches nearby. She stepped back from the edge. Then another step. Her vision blurred. Lily's cries sounded distant, muffled, like underwater. The last thing she remembered was her knees buckling. Then, black. James Carter was standing about 15 feet away. A builder heading to a site in East London. 32 years old, up since 5 a.m. Coffee in one hand, tool bag in the other. He wasn't really looking at anyone, just waiting like everybody else. But something made him glance up. Instinct, maybe. Or just luck. He saw Emma start to go down. Here's what most people don't get about moments like that. Your brain doesn't think. You just move. James dropped everything. Coffee splashed everywhere. Bag hit the floor. He lunged. Emma was falling backwards. Lily strapped to her chest. If she hit the ground hard. The baby was going down too. And they were way too close to the edge. James got there in time. He caught Emma under the arms. Yanked her towards him. But the momentum took them both. He twisted mid-air so he'd hit the concrete first. Cushioning her fall. His shoulder smashed into the platform. Pain ripped through his arm. But he didn't let go. Lily was screaming now. People started crowding round. Someone shouted for an ambulance. James kept one arm round Emma, stopping her sliding towards the tracks. And used his other hand to steady the baby. Emma was out cold. Face pale, lips almost gray. James had no clue what was wrong. Faint. Seizure. Something worse. He just knew she needed help fast. And this tiny girl needed her mum. A woman in a suit ran over, she was a nurse. She checked Emma's pulse and breathing. While James held her steady. The nurse cooed softly to Lily. Trying to calm her. Others formed a circle. Giving them space. Someone yelled, the ambulance was coming. The whole thing probably lasted 3 minutes. James said it felt like forever. Every second dragged. When the paramedics arrived. They carefully unclipped Lily from the carrier. The baby was hysterical. Face bright red from crying. One paramedic asked if anyone knew the mom. No one did. No name, nothing. James was still on the ground. Emma's head in his lap. The paramedic asked if he was family. James shook his head. No, mate, just a stranger. But when they loaded Emma onto the stretcher, James stood up. I'm coming with you. The paramedic said he didn't have to. They'd handle it. James looked at Lily, still wailing in the other medic's arms, and said, someone's got to stay with the baby. Her mum's unconscious. No one's here. I'm coming. They let him ride along. 12 minutes later, they reached the hospital. Emma was still out. Doctors rushed her inside. James ended up in the waiting area, with Lily. He'd never had kids. No nieces, no nephews. Never even changed a nappy. But Lily looked up at him with big teary eyes. And something just clicked. He rocked her gently, humming an old tune his own mum used to sing. Slowly, Lily settled. Stopped crying. A nurse came over, asked who he was. James explained, the platform, the fall. How he didn't know this woman at all. But couldn't leave the baby alone. The nurse's face softened. She asked if he could contact family. James realized he knew nothing. Not even her name. The nurse said they'd sort it when Emma woke. If he wanted to go, he could. They'd look after the baby. James looked down at Lily, now asleep against his chest. I'll wait. 3 hours passed. James sat there holding her. He phoned his boss. Explained. Boss wasn't thrilled about missing the day, but said, do what you've got to do. Nurses brought a bottle when Lily woke hungry. Showed him how to hold it. How to wind her. One even helped him change a nappy in the bathroom. He fumbled, but got there. Lily seemed happy with him now. Grabbing his finger, holding tight. It warmed something in his chest. Around noon, a doctor came out. Emma was awake. Severe blood sugar crash. Dehydration, exhaustion. She'd been running on fumes too long. Single mum, new city, no support. Her body just shut down. The doctor said if she'd hit her head, or fallen onto the tracks, it could have been awful. She was lucky someone caught her. The doctor asked if James wanted to see her. He walked in, still carrying Lily. Emma was propped up in bed. For in her arm, eyes red. When she saw Lily, she burst into tears. Pure relief. James handed the baby over gently. Stepped back. Emma held Lily close. Kissing her head again and again. Breathing her in. Checking tiny fingers and toes. Then she looked up at James. No idea who he was. The nurse explained everything. The catch on the platform. Protecting them both in the fall. Riding in the ambulance. Caring for Lily all morning. Feeding, changing, holding her while she slept. Emma couldn't speak at first. Just stared at this stranger. Who'd given up his whole day for her and her daughter. A stranger with zero reason to care. But who cared anyway? Finally, voice cracking. Thank you. James shrugged. Anyone would have done it. Emma shook her head, tears falling. No. Most people would have called for help. And caught their train. You stayed. You stayed with her. They talked for ages. Emma told him about the divorce. A man who decided fatherhood was too much. Moving to London for a fresh start. Trying to do it all alone. Skipping proper meals because she was too tired to cook. living on coffee and whatever she could grab. She told him about the missed interview. Probably her only shot at getting steady again. She said it like a confession. Ashamed. James shared too. Growing up in Manchester. Losing his dad young. Helping his mum raise his little sisters. Construction work since 18 years in London. But still feeling alone most days. Everyone so busy. No one really sees each other. They realize they live just a few streets apart. Probably passed each other loads of times. Without noticing. James offered to help get her home. Once discharged. Emma said he'd done enough. He'd already lost a day's pay. But James insisted. I've come this far. Might as well finish it. Besides, you can't carry Lily and in 4 drip. Emma laughed. First time in weeks. Hospital kept her a bit longer for observation. James nipped to the cafeteria. Got sandwiches, soup. Emma said it was the best meal she'd had in months. Because she didn't have to make it. They sat together while she ate. James held Lily so Emma could use both hands. Talked about London, starting over. How terrifying it is doing everything solo. Dreams, disappointments. Emma said she hadn't had a proper adult conversation. In weeks. Just her own voice talking to Lily. James said he'd been in the city years. And still barely knew anyone real. This, right here. Felt real. They left hospital around 6 that evening. James had missed his full shift. Probably a warning, maybe docked pay. Didn't care. He helped Emma get Lily into a black cab. Made sure they got home safe. Carried the changing bag. Helped up 3 flights of stairs. Checked she had food in the fridge. Phone charged. Before leaving. He scribbled his number on a scrap of paper. Left it on the kitchen counter. Just in case you need anything. Anything at all. Emma thanked him again. How do you thank someone? For saving your life. Your child's. For treating you like you mattered. When you felt invisible. James said, no problem, really. Then he left. 3 days later. Emma texted him. Wanted to buy him dinner. A proper thank you. James said not necessary. She insisted. I need to do this. For me. They met at a little Italian place nearby. Nothing fancy. Lily came too. No babysitter yet. Didn't trust anyone. James didn't mind. That dinner turned into coffee the next week. Then a park walk the week after. Texts every day. Good morning, how's Lily, how was work? Then calls. Then James popping round. Bringing shopping when he saw cupboards low. Fixing the dripping tap. The wobbly cupboard door. Playing with Lily so Emma could shower. Or nap. Or just breathe. Never pushy. Just there. Steady. Reliable. Emma started looking forward to seeing him. Days felt lighter. Lily lit up when he walked in. Reaching, giggling at his silly faces. It scared Emma at first. Getting attached. Letting someone close. She'd been hurt before. But James kept showing up. Even when Lily was poorly and crying all night. Even when Emma was shattered and grumpy. He stayed. 6 months later. On her sofa. Lily asleep in the next room. James said he was falling in love with her. He knew the timing might be off. Understood if she wasn't ready. Knew she'd been hurt. But he had to say it. He loved her. Loved Lily. Wanted to be part of their lives. Properly. Not just as a mate. Emma looked at him. Started crying. James thought he'd ruined it. But she shook her head. I've loved you since the hospital. I was just terrified. Terrified of being hurt again. Of pulling you into my mess. Of you realizing one day this wasn't what you wanted. Raising someone else's child. James took her hands. Your mess is my mess now. That's how it works. Lily isn't someone else's kid to me. She's ours. If you'll have me. They got married 2 years later. Small do in a local park in East London. Close friends only. Emma's mum came down from up north. James's mum and sisters were there. Lily, 3 years old, was flower girl. She called James Daddy. Because that's what he was. Not by blood. By choice. By showing up every single day. Now they've been married 4 years. They have a little boy together. 2-year-old Noah. Lily's 7. She knows the story of how Mummy and Daddy met. They tell her every year. On the anniversary of that day at King's Cross. They tell her sometimes the worst moments lead to the best ones. That strangers can become family. That one kind choice can change everything. James still does building work. Emma's a dental nurse now. Went back to college, finished her qualification. James looked after the kids while she studied. They live in a little flat in Hackney. Nothing flash. But full of photos, laughter, love. Every morning before work. James kisses Emma and both kids goodbye. Every single morning. Because he knows how quick life can flip. How important it is to show up. For the people you love. Emma thinks about that day all the time. What if James hadn't looked up? What if he'd been staring at his phone? What if he'd stood somewhere else? What if he'd decided helping wasn't worth it? She doesn't dwell too long. Because he was there. He did help. And every good thing now exists because one person decided. Another person's life mattered. That's the thing about kindness. You never know where it'll lead. James thought he was just keeping a baby safe. Till her mum woke up. He didn't know he was meeting his wife. His family. Saving his own life too. Because he'd been lonely for years. Just going through the motions. But that day on the platform gave him purpose. Gave him love. Gave him everything he didn't know he needed. So next time you see someone struggling, think of this. Think of Emma and Lily and James. Think how your small act might be someone else's miracle. Because that's exactly what it was for them. One moment. One choice. One stranger who cared. And 2 lives. Forever changed. If this story touched you, well, that's the power of it.